I'll defend Nickelback. Maybe not till the day I die, because that's a bit far. But right.
They might not
have did we not finish our last tour and I put on This Is Nickelback on Spotify?
You did.
And from the back, I just heard, tune! Oh, get on the harmonies on this one, man. Oh, this one's... Oh, remember this one? Right, what year did Silver Side Up come out?
You know what, I can't believe all the conversations we've had, and this is how you remind him that he likes Nickelback.
Oh!
You can take that! You can have it for free!
Hello everybody, welcome to the Luka State Podcast. It's nice to see you again. We hope you're enjoying this as much as we are. As you know by now, the whole idea of this is for you to get to know us as people. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you're watching. And nice to have you on board. So what are we chatting shit about today?
Today's topic of conversation, quite an important one. One of those that go into the ether of time and space.
Nice.
Just how good is Jake Barnabas at the drums?
Shit.
Drum roll, please.
Abortion.
Ironically, the only one who didn't do the drum roll was the drummer then. So.
I get told off for doing too much now.
Yeah, Jake, you're my favourite person in the world.
Oh, Jakob, Barney Eyeballs.
Conrad makes me uncomfortable with compliments.
Why?
Visibly. I don't know.
Sometimes I just want to snog your face off, but I can't.
And that right there is probably where the uncomfort comes from.
You don't take compliments very well, Jake. You're one of them, mate, which is fine.
I like complimenting you, though.
It's not a bad trait, is it?
Fair, I said nice shoes the other day and you told me to fuck off. I thought that was a bit
Nice
inappropriate.
I always feel if someone deserves to be complimented, you should compliment them.
Verbally, it's a bit much. If it was a letter or something.
Maybe I should put it in letter.
If it was in writing, I'd maybe accept it.
No, well, to be fair, like you look at it, like you look at that TV show, like when it comes out of all of us, you run faster, you jump higher, you go longer. You are the bionic man of the Luka State.
You've got the best genes, haven't you?
I was only 3 there. I thought you were
I was going to carry on, but it could be 20 minutes of things Jake's better at.
Let's just go straight to the point of saying JB is absolutely obsessed with playing his instrument. And
our drummer's better than your drummer.
Well, our drummer is better than every fucking other drummer. That's just a given. So, Jake, what makes you tick? Why are you fucking obsessed at banging things?
Whoa.
Deep drums. I'm all about drums.
Deep drums questions there, comrade. Blinking.
Therapy session.
I have this really weird thing in my head where I think if I miss a day of practice, that the next day I will forget how to play the drums.
I think it's called autism, right?
Legit. I honestly have that. So every day I make sure I get like at least some. I get some. Dedication. Yeah. And I don't know. It's part kind of in me because I like to try and get better at things, don't we all?
Very true.
Yeah, and part insecurity because I teach. And I can't have my students getting better than me.
So do you genuinely believe then, if you have one day off, that you will suffer in the long run?
It's like I think it's like a compulsion almost, but I suppose it's positive, so it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, there's other things you could be doing, isn't there, mate?
Yeah, there's worse things I could be doing every day. Yeah. I think it's because I know now as I get older how quick things move. So like if I miss one day, then I might miss 2, and then before I know it, I've missed a week.
Essentially, like the Shaolin monk of the drums, aren't you?
I don't know what that means.
Do you know what a Shaolin monk is?
Not really.
I don't know.
I only know.
Those people who practice martial arts in the same spot on the concrete so much that the footprints are embedded in the concrete. They are dedicated that much.
Wow,
that's the same level of dedication I put it on. Yeah.
Do you know that drum thing that you just mentioned?
Yeah.
So I tried that. I hate to bring this back to me. I don't mean like.
What did you try? Go specific because I like it.
So basically, the idea that if you have one day off, that it'll come back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
So when I lived on my own in my flat, I made a point of putting so my sofa was here, my telly was there.
Yeah.
So I made a point of putting my guitar underneath my telly. So it was always looking at me.
Yeah.
And I would always pick it up. So even when the adverts were on, I'd pick the guitar
Accountability.
up. Yeah, I'd pick the guitar up, and I was forcing myself to write music, right? Forcing myself. But eventually the penny dropped.
Yeah.
That if it's not coming, it's fucking not coming. And you're not going to catch that fish.
Yeah.
And so I kind of was just like, this is pointless. I need to catch when I'm inspired and I have an idea and I think, I've got to pick the guitar up now because I'm inspired. So on the flip side of your thing, where you think that you missed it, it'll come back to bite you. It's not something I found would sit right with writing songs.
Yeah.
Because you're forcing. I'd technically be forcing shit out of me, and it'd be crap because it's not from a moment of inspiration. But for you, yours is about. I guess it's more. Is it more about your technique and your?
It's just chipping away at it, and like even the bad days are like throwing dirt at the wall. But I think it's very different what you're saying though as well, and you're aware of that because with what you're saying, it's like because there's that saying, isn't there, that inspiration comes from inspiration. So you just have to make it happen. Yeah. But I suppose the way we're operating now is we kind of, if we're writing, we might have a long time away from that headspace and come back when the battery is full and the juices are full.
Yeah.
And we come back in like that. So I think creating something from scratch is a very different headspace to chipping away at something and setting little goals, but also bigger goals and just trying to, keep chipping away. It's like a different goal, I would think.
I think you put a lot of pressure on yourself when you're like picking your guitar up. Do you feel like you have to write something, whereas Jake doesn't put that pressure on himself because he's doing his rudiments?
If anything, I'm taking pressure off myself. Probably.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm just trying to understand your process.
For me personally, because it's like I've only ever known you in the band.
Yeah.
Like, I've only same way you've only ever known me as your guitarist. I've only ever known you as my drummer, sort of thing. Because from what I know about you in your past and stuff like that, and like with the football that we can talk about and everything, it's always struck me as you have quite like an athletic dedication to stuff ingrained in your head. Like us three, like we'll all struggle to sort of keep consistency on it.
Yeah.
You have impressively, and it's kicked our ass into gear. The fact that you're very much regimented, dedicated, and you know where everything should be.
Yeah, I think it kind of is maybe a bit of a sporting. Maybe it's a sporting trait that's come into music.
Yeah,
because
it's discipline.
I remember stopping playing football at like 18, 19. I played semi-professional for Altrincham, and I got a knee injury where the doctor said like if I kept playing, I'd have a knee replacement by the time I was 30.
It was Messi's dad getting in there early to stopping his left.
But I remember consciously like having the thought of like, right, what else can I do? And so it was like, right. I was like, well, I enjoy playing the drums, and I remember having the thought like, there's 3 big bands in our town, and it was Shakedown Stockholm, it was Deja Vega, who are still going and very good friends of ours, and it was the Luka State, and I remember thinking, if I'm going to make it in music, the first step is going to be to get into one of these 3 bands.
I really hope I get in Deja Vega.
So then, like I say, I'd stopped playing football, so that mindset had gone into drumming, and I thought, right, I've got to make this happen somehow. And I remember the Luka State put a post out saying they needed a guitarist, and so I messaged back as a drummer and messaged our manager saying why don't you put your drummer on guitar and I'll be your drummer. And I got pied off. I got pied off by Conrad at some point.
It's Conrad again.
I got pied off by the band, and then it was about a year later as a drummer. You know, kind of drummers know my pain when you're in like 4 or 5 bands at a time. And I was like out gigging with all of these bands, and
you have to pick one.
And yeah, you spotted me. You guys see me at a festival.
I remember that like yesterday.
Yeah,
so
me
do
me too. I was very, very blown away. I was blown away because I'd never seen a drummer like play like a little bit like Matt Helders, because he's got his own like technique, hasn't he? And the band you were in at the time, they were quite like Arctic Monkeys, like B-sided stuff.
I agree, yeah.
So I just remember like every time you'd done a little like, me and Conrad look at each other and go, fucking, did you hear that? Like, I bet that footage is so funny to look at if you could see it. You'd see me and Conrad like little girls looking at each other every time you do a little. Do you know what I mean? Like
the gig's still on YouTube, you know. By the way, we can put that in there somewhere. Perfect. But it's funny you mentioned Matt Helders, because I obviously teach the drums now. But I tell my students, like one of my first drum teachers was Matt Helders, and they're like, "What, you knew Matt?" And I'm like, "No, not like that." But what I mean is, like, I used to just like, there was a time when I'd play the kit where I'd play Favourite Worst Nightmare like all the way through, and then I would go, right, what am I going to work on today? Because that was just my like music DNA.
So you kept it going and claimed that you did know Matt Helders.
Yeah.
Who taught you Keith Moon?
What did you start on when you were younger? Was it like pots and pans, or was it pillows? Or?
Did you start straight up as a drummer, or did you start on guitar or bass first?
Well, my dad was a bass player, so he like tried to set the scene by surrounding me with guitars.
Yeah, you're not a loser, so you're never going to pick up
stringed instruments. But no, it was like pots and pans, and I think my mum got sick of me like ruining all of the good pans, the good copper ones. I don't know if they were copper. I don't think they were copper. We can't afford them. And then he got me like this little Yamaha electronic kit.
How old were you then?
Probably late primary school, maybe. Yeah, about late primary school.
So before you were even into football, you were into like...
I was into it. Yeah, actually, yeah, around the same time when you start getting interests. And then,
that all down to your parents, that, innit?
Just being they're just super supportive. Yeah, they never pushed anything on me, but they never.
And they're into good music as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
so
you didn't come out with sticks in your hand.
No.
When I say as well that your parents are into good music, like it was not just like stuff from the 70s and that. Like they were listening to like stuff that was coming out like when you were younger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, my mum and dad went to watch the Pixies at Brixton Academy 1991, which is like a gig I would love to have gone to. But like the older I get, like I'm sure we're all in the same boat, the more you realise like how good your dad's music taste is, but you didn't want to like admit it when you were younger.
Oh yeah.
And,
well, not my dad's, but my mum's. Yeah, my mum's.
Well, there we go then.
And
My mum was into like Slipknot and stuff. I always thought like.
That's what I mean.
When I was a kid listening to Slipknot like in my bedroom, I always thought they'd think I was like this demented kid, like sat in there listening to like
yeah.
Elena was probably bopping outside the room or something.
It's very rare
Your
that
mum's
to have
just outside
parents.
like psychosocial.
yeah.
Isn't it rare though to have parents that are into like Slipknot and stuff? Like
Korn as well.
Because I remember if you played that in front of your parents, they'd be like, "Why are they screaming like that?" Like,
I remember showing my dad In Too Deep by Sum 41, and he said, "I didn't know you were into metal." I remember that clear as day.
Because that solo in it.
Good point, actually.
I don't even like.
Good point, actually.
Because I like metal fucking.
Yeah, he's trying, but like, still, like in my mind, then I was like, "This is metal music. You got some metal lad."
Do you know what's painful now? When you get these like, "This is dad rock," and it's like
Green Day.
It's like Green Day, Blink-182. I'm like,
this is dad rock. You're like, it's happened.
That deserves a proper Home Alone. No.
To be fair, one thing with that is one thing that's always been mad with it, because it is like we all went to school together and being in the same school year. You're 2 years below us in school, stuff like that. You're always slightly connected, and one thing that I always remember in the early days is you had to be careful with any form of behaviour, because you were a roving Snapchat drone and would catch anything and everything.
If I ever had a bad angle,
he found it. He found it
straight away like that, mate.
I'm like the anti-photographer.
We should find some Snapchat videos.
You like that episode of Goosebumps?
I thought I was fucking good looking until I seen his Snapchat, and I was like, "Fuck me."
Turns out Sam hasn't had a mirror in his house his whole life.
The worst angles.
You are good looking.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're gorgeous, mate.
Worst angles.
You have to see it from my point of view. Like I'd left like
that was the problem.
I'd left like 5 town bands, and then my first gig with the Luka State was in Berlin, and I was like, I want to capture this, but also who are these hooligans?
Yeah, capture how fucking mad these people are. Like.
Yeah.
Drummers, let us know in the comments. You got any stories about how many bands you're in? Because every drummer seems to be in about 40 bands nowadays. Thankfully, we got Jake tied
faithful.
down. We put a ring on that. Like Beyonce saying should have put a ring on it. We did, and then we locked him behind the drum kit.
Put a cowbell on
it. And then to be fair, if you're in a band yourself, let us know how annoying is your drummer in the van with a practice pad on the way.
So that is another thing that brings us to the next thing. Jake is always on his fucking practice pad, aren't you, Jake?
What our producer on our first album said, that he thinks that I fall asleep to a metronome.
That's good too.
Yeah.
Right.
I would not be fucking surprised at all.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never met anyone more dedicated to their craft though. Yeah. No, it was actually quite fucking strange, Jake, when you joined, because I've always associated musicians with being fucking wreckheads.
Yeah.
Like never on time, fucking unfit. filthy.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That first time meeting Jake, I realised.
Dirty, never fucking unwashed.
That first time of meeting him was the first time I realised I wasn't a guitarist. I was a lad who could play guitar. I had to learn that. Right?
Exactly.
Same for all of us. You weren't a singer. You were all lad could sing. So you were a bass.
First ever rehearsal. The first jam when it was just the three of us before we were graced with Lewis's presence. We were like, right, me and Conrad were thinking, what's a good song to play for like the first time, auditioning your drummer. We had like a bit of chips on our shoulders, you know what I mean? Like we've been about it for a few years and we thought, you know what, let's give him an hard one. Let's see, this is how fucking stupid we were though. We were like, right, let's play Everlong by Foo Fighters. We thought he's not going to make it to this fucking just before the chorus, so we won't learn the chorus. And it fucking it backfired on us because he knew fucking all of it tenfold. And as soon as it got to the boom, 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 me and Conrad were like looking at each other like fucking, like we didn't know what we were doing.
I'm sure he showed me where it went.
And then Jake was like, it's there, and there. Yeah, and so then I remember being very, very embarrassed, thinking, fucking hell, I hardly can play my instrument. And then I rang my manager afterwards, our manager, sorry, not mine, like I've got a personal one. Rang our manager and said, I can't play my fucking instrument. And he was like, what? And I was like, this drummer is fucking insane, and he makes me sound terrible, so I need to get better, and I did get a little bit better.
Nah, you're still shit.
On it as a rhythm section, mate.
We got
not hearing a bad word about it.
But yeah, so it was
quite like a planned out time when you think about it, because obviously at that time, like you say, we had the audition and there was a purpose, wasn't there? Because I think it was like maybe 3 or 4 weeks after joining the band, we were straight in the studio, weren't we?
Weren't we auditioning guitarists then? Through that period,
it was a little bit
after Everlong, after that Everlong jam.
So the first guitarist we auditioned was a lad called Jack Evans, and me and him were in a band together, and we've recorded in this studio.
Off.
That's mad, isn't it?
That's fucking spooky.
Yeah. What a full cycle moment.
Yeah, I know.
Full cycle.
Mm-hmm. Cycle.
That's fucked, man. That is mad as fuck.
Small world, isn't it? We're at 80 Hertz studio in Manchester, if anybody wants to know. It's a really good studio. Available for podcasts, and what else can you do here, Conrad?
Record, obviously.
You can record Cortina's albums here, apparently.
And eat pizzas in the back room if you're hungry.
I'm going to talk about one of the biggest facts about you that still blows my mind. Yeah. Maddest fact about you.
Yeah.
By far, and it shows true bravery and character. You are an unashamed, die-hard fan of the back of Nichols, are you not? The
Nickelback.
Guilty.
Yeah.
I will use charged.
I'll defend Nickelback. Maybe not till the day I die, because that's a bit far. But right.
The amount of fans
did we not finish our last tour and I put on This Is Nickelback on Spotify?
You did.
And from the back, I just heard tune. Oh, get on the harmonies on this one, man. Oh, this one's. Remember this one? Right. What year did Silver Side Up come out?
You know what, I can't believe all the conversations we've had, and this is how you remind him that he likes Nickelback. You can take it out! You can have it for free!
I would say I'll let you talk in the mic, but never again.
But yeah, no, you've never hid from that, Jake, and our buddy love it.
You don't shy away from that, do you, mate?
There's no shame in grunge and post-grunge, bro.
Anyway, Nickelback fans in Portugal.
Post-grunge.
They're not classed as
post-grunge.
If you've got any funny Nickelback videos, send them in. Look at this graph. We done a little segment of that once when we were recording. And
at Eve's
Studios, yeah, I'm pretty sure at one point we're in a bath.
We've done about 6 videos.
Look at this bath.
Can we end the podcast with that video, please? Surely someone's got it.
We should show you that.
I have that again.
And yeah, if you want to do your own as well, so watch ours and then go and do your own. There's loads of things. Look at this cat.
On that note, here's our Nickelback parody.
And in all serious, all of the Nickelback. Like, we're not about slagging other bands off and all of that.
We do actually like Nickelback.
Yeah. Like, let us know your favourite Nickelback song in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
The comments will all be me. Just
Jake different
he
made the This Is Nickelback playlist himself.
Nickelback 91.
Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, share it with your mates, spread the word about us, about Nickelback, about Jake being the greatest drummer who's ever lived. And
Yeah, and here's us being stupid in the studio. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thank you.
Look at me.